What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. Welcome back. We are on some more Supercross prep, the 2023 track maps, and I'm going to be doing rounds I think 4 through to 6 today, so we've got 3 in total for you. And funnily enough, off the back of the last video I done on this this compound facility, whatever you want to call it, I said I was going to do a few like every couple of days, and Eric's has already released the remainder of the rounds, so I'm going to kind of have to pick it up a notch. That man's work rate is absolutely insane. So based off the last set of 3 that I done, I was really enjoying the tracks. The scaling was very big, so it's going to be interesting to see if that does continue here. There's not much of a drop off at all. Let's get, okay, on, off, potential to quad out of that corner maybe. Oh, and then triple, boing. I even think that could be a quad in the middle there. I've already got my brain working. We've got some big boy lines that we could possibly do here. This is round 4 that we're on right here, and I have not touched the tracks at all since the last video. And the reason that I'm actually pushing this video out for you guys to see it today is because I've been on a bit of a TikTok grind recently, and I'm going to be doing a TikTok of all of the 2023 tracks. So I want to play them here before I do them over there, just so like I don't already know the tracks, if that makes sense. And TikTok's been going really well, actually. I'm quite surprised. I mean, average about 30,000-ish views per one that I've been uploading, which is really good for me. And I've got the monetization side of things figured out now at last, so getting paid the peanuts for it. I think I'm up to something like £8 at this point, which is £8 that I didn't have previously, so I can't be too snobby or too upset. Have I just gone? No, that is the right way. This is a little bit of confusing layout there. This is why I wish that we had some objects, just so I knew where I was going as well. That'd be really nice. Have I missed something somewhere? Let me go. I'm going to go try and find the start. That would help a lot, wouldn't it? Right, so this is the start here. Okay, that's so interesting. That is such a weird start. I've never seen something like that before. I wonder if they'll stay true to that IRL, or if they'll mix up a little bit. So you have a massive start, a 180, back across like 3 or 4 different lanes, so if there's any accidents at the start, God help us. Then round to the right here and rejoin there. That's actually quite cool. I'm a fan of that. Right, can I get this quad? Oh, I might have been able to get it if I wasn't a numpty and shifted up into 4th when I should have stayed in 3rd. Definitely doable, but definitely also just probably a 450 only line that we move. Right, I cased the life out of this last time. Oh no, it wasn't that one I cased, it was the second one. Boing, survive. Thank you very much. Proboso's working to my favour today. And I hopped back on the Husky today just for a little bit of change of pace. Don't worry, I'm not going to be resorting back to the Husky for the Supercross season. It's just to mix it up for the sake of the video. Although I will say this is probably one of my favourite all-time skins, having that red #1 plate with the gold #1 on it. It's so nice. Massive thank you to McChicken for making this for me at the end of the 2022 season. And so I won't lie, so I think last video I done on these tracks, I was talking about kind of how I'd want to place and how I'd want to do. That is such a weird, hang on, that's such a weird section. So you can go around the outside and try and yeet over the entire thing, or you can go inside here and then hit it like a wall. Oh, no, if you can hit that outside, that's so much faster. I was talking about how I want to do, and the last couple of days I've been doing a little bit more online play, and I've done an EMS race the other day as well. I'm getting a little bit nervous. You know, we are getting some bloody fast people coming through out of nowhere, and this title is 100% under threat. I want to say last season it was almost gifted to me in a way, because a lot of people halfway through onwards, they just disappeared, stopped playing, and then by that point I had a big enough points lead where I could just manage it. You know, I didn't have to particularly try too hard. But this season I can't see it going that way whatsoever. I think it's going to be a hell of a lot more difficult. Right, let's try and get over it this time. There we go, that was so much more clean. So the scaling is oh my god, why on earth did I just veer off to the right? Come on, get back on the track. I'm not doing it much justice. I know you guys get annoyed when I ace everything or don't get it right. I apologise. I'm only human. I'm trying my best. That step on is huge. That step off is not huge. And I quite like how high in the air some of these jumps do send you. But I know it's definitely not one-to-one scale by any means. It is upscaled a bit. I want to try and get over this bloody outside. I feel like I'm going to have to hit it with so much speed. There we go. I didn't even have to hit it that fast at all. I just had to cut down a bit more to hit it on the higher part rather than the outside, which was a little bit lower. So nice and easy. Probably shouldn't be scrubbing the finish line jump because I keep forgetting how big it is. Around here. Oh, trying to step off that is near impossible. And part of me wants to try and rail this and see if I can send this and quad it. But I feel like I'm going to absolutely wad myself. I mean, we'll find out. Let's see how it goes. Oh, no, we're going to turn around and do it once more. Don't want to be hitting it sliding. Skirt. Need to get the traction built up first. Oh, I'm still sliding. Oh, and it's a very odd transition going from berm to jump. Okay, no, I probably can't do that. I'd have to cut down a little bit more. I think the transition that he's got between the berm ending and the takeoff of the jump is a little bit sharp. Like they don't kind of gradually merge into each other, which is what you need. So I will not be attempting that one again. I'm going to finish this lap off and we'll move over to track number 2. So far, I wouldn't say this one is one of my favourite ones of the previous 3 that I've done. What I will say is that rhythm section to my right is probably the most flowy one so far. There's just something about it. I managed to just hit it perfectly lap 1, just stepping on nicely, stepping off, jumping all the way up and over this. And you get so much airtime as well. It's so like smooth and flowy. I mean, that Supercross triple there isn't as big as some other ones that we've seen, which is weird. So it's almost like there's a few inconsistencies. I'm not sure if he was experimenting on each different track to see what works and what doesn't work. That is a super sick line. Very interested to see that IRL, although I can imagine if it does remain exactly the same, then outside will 100% be faster than the inside. And there you go. I cased it at the finish every single time that race because I get overzealous and I scrub everything when I shouldn't do. So let's move over here, which will be round numero 5. And I'm actually going to start from the start gate this time, rather than just going to the finish line, because last track it really confused me. So let's spin her around here, and let's go again. Now again, I don't know where all of the different rounds are located. I'm just playing the tracks as and when they appear. Whole shot line potentially, I'm guessing, and then you carry on straight. I mean, this is definitely the way that you hit that jump. But yeah, I mean, I think the start positioning on a lot of these tracks is what's so weird and wonderful compared to years past, which is why I get the feeling that they're not going to work in real life. Because if you can imagine, there's more often than not there is 1 or 2 people that go down in turn 1. It's only natural. People are trying to get as good a start as possible. They come into those first corner or 2 with a hell of a lot of speed, and you just bump into people and can potentially lose the front end or slide the back out, whatever it may be. And it's not a video game. There are real life penalties to that happening. And if you've got someone laying in the middle of the track when everyone's meant to be looping back round and starting the next lap, it's probably not going to end too well for anybody. So for all these weird and wonderful start designs like this, it merges over across 3 or 4 different lanes of potentially oncoming traffic. And that's where I feel like there might have to be changes made. Obviously, I'm not Dirtworks. I am not a track creator by any means, but that's just me from a spectator's point of view. That's what I can see happening. Come on, don't give me all these low speed physics. I just want to get moving, get going. One thing I'm quite excited for is, so obviously we start Supercross around January time. We've got, I think, so 2 months between now and then, and I'm like 99% sure Beta 18 will release by that point. So the game itself is going to feel entirely different to how it does right now. That is disgustingly big. I thought I hit that corner pretty damn fast, and I still didn't go over it. And as well, there's going to be a lot better road. I'm not sure if anybody saw my community post from Monday, but I put a picture up of one of Rubes' tracks that he's working on. But he's done some testing on Beta 18 road, and it looks so good. You know, I don't think there's going to be any real need for pre-made ruts and stuff in Supercross anymore, purely because the road itself, the lines and ruts look much more definitive than they do now. Obviously, if you do a bunch of laps on MX bikes now, all the lines kind of merge into one and you just end up getting a completely flat track. Doesn't seem to be the case anymore on Beta 18. They seem to be much more definitive lines and ruts that you can actually follow, which will make for better racing because you've got more lines to try and pass people on, and it will make it a lot more technical and challenging as well, having to change your line throughout the race if one gets deeper than the other, and so on and so forth. We also, I mean, I don't know the status of the Beta 18 OEMs. A lot of people, for some reason, keep saying they've been deleted when they haven't been. I know for a fact they haven't been. They've just been put on hold for the time being because of Alpha Mods being an absolute twat and leaking or releasing stuff that isn't his. But that's a topic for another video. And don't. That's not Alpha from ARL Alpha. That is Alpha mods as in Gabriel, and he's scum. Moving on. They're not deleted. They're on hold. So part of me is thinking that they are just waiting for the actual Beta 18 release. I don't believe bikes are finished by any means, but it'll probably give them that extra little spur to get them done. So who knows? By the time January comes around, we could have a very, very different game, both in terms of quality of life and gameplay from what I've tested so far. And then we're also going to have Beta 18 OEM bikes, which to my knowledge actually handle differently than everything else has so far. So it's going to be a very, very different game. It's going to be a big old learning curve, just like me trying to learn how to not wad myself over these bloody jumps. And I'm here for it. I'm very, very excited. I like to think that I pick things up fairly quickly in the grand scheme of things compared to other people, so it should be fun. And I think that's part of the reason why I've done well in the 22 season is Beta 17 dropped after like the first 3-4 rounds, and the traction just went to shit. And whilst everyone else was sat there complaining about it, not wanting to play it, I was just grinding away, trying to get used to it, trying to learn a little bit of throttle control, and it worked in my favour. Started dominating the rest of the series, so I wouldn't even be upset if they release Beta 18 halfway through. I know some people really, really don't want that to happen, but as long as we get it in some regards, I'll be a happy man. Unfortunately, I don't have information on exact release dates. From the Beta 18, I mean, Pavoso is a very cryptic man. You know, he speaks in like mixed messages. Like, it's not always clear on what he's doing or what he's working on. We just get told to kind of test a version out every now and then. And I mean, the game feels great. You know, loading times much better. The game handles caching of bikes much better, so it remembers things. So multiplayer doesn't take as long to load into anymore. I believe the first attempt take a while, then every attempt after that will be much quicker. We don't get crash into desktop anymore over stupid ruts or whilst loading into servers either, which I know is going to be a massive relief for a bunch of people. And he hasn't messed with kind of physics or anything for Beta 18. It's purely quality of life stuff, worked on how the erode forms. I'm very, very excited for it, but I don't have an ETA, I'm afraid. All I can say is that it's very, very close. There's just some last weeks, or like just putting the final polished touches onto it, shall we say. I finally got over that this time. Bloody hell, that is a ridiculous stretch. So round 5 here, I'm not sure which round it is, but I mean, it's probably been the one that I've ridden the worst. I don't think I've done this one much justice whatsoever. What I will say, however, is I really enjoy it, which is weird considering that I think I've crashed the most. I know the scaling is ridiculous. You know, the jumps are so big, like disgustingly big. Definitely not 1-to-1 by any means. Might even be 3-to-3. But I'm here for it. It's actually really, really fun, and I like floating through the air a lot in these Supercross sections. And it's nice if you barely overjump something that you don't get that horrible front end knife because you've got the face of the next jump right next to you. I mean that's not a legit line at all, is it? I do apologise. Let's stretch that one out. And that one, there we go, nice and smooth. This corner's very weird. No berm at all in there. I will have to double check the track map up. Track map. Bloody hell, Linz. Use your English afterwards and see what that looks like. Nice over under. I do like an over under jump. It's very, very floaty. And yeah, this step on there is ridiculously big. I think this is probably the section that I've done the worst every single lap. And then we got just the right-hander before the finish line. And scrub-a-dub-dub. All the boys are in the tub, and over the finish line there. So, one more to go for this video. Over here to track numero 6. Now, where is the start line on this track? It is down there, and you come all the way over here, and you hit this first corner here. Okie dokie. So, let's go around to the left. Boing, that's not a very good start. Okay, step off, triple into the corner, have the back brake. Berms are very big on this track, which I like already. Over that into a very, very long whoop section. Jesus Christ. I feel like them whoops are built differently to the other tracks as well, so I definitely feel like Ericsson has been doing some like mixing and matching in terms of scaling or experimenting on different tracks, which is quite nice. Not like he's just got one system and he's stuck to that only. Kind of adds a bit more character to each track if the scaling's a bit different as well. I mean, whilst you could probably use this for some Supercross preparation for the 23 season, I probably wouldn't advise it. It's nice for some fun for a Supercross style track, but if you actually want to get down to it and practice the same sort of style, you're probably much better off racing on previous ARL tracks. Just for the scaling side of things, you know, I mean, it's a lot more one-to-one on ARL, a lot more tight and twisty than this. That finish line is tiny. Skirt, come to a stop, and we go again. Oh, you can definitely triple in there. Hang on, I'm spinning around. I'm doing that one again. Go to the left, up and over this. So I'm going to come out wide, try and carry a bit of momentum. No, I'm not. I'm sliding out because I'm an absolute goon. Okay, it's possible. I'm telling you now, it's possible. Or you can go tight inside and double your way through. Oh, I do like a big line. Don't take that out of context. I like doing the big lines in game. Up and over that. So the higher you jump up onto that middle bit, the lower it will keep you because you're not hitting as much of the takeoff. Left here. This bit's all very. This track is not the most odd in terms of scaling, I think, so far. I'm not a massive fan of it. Much prefer the one over there, which surprises me because I've always been a massive advocate of more tight and twisty tracks. So the fact that the one to the right, which is what I consider to be the biggest one so far, a little bit odd. I don't know if my mic would pick that up, but got the bloody got my Alexa popping off in the background telling me that someone's at the front door. Not my house, it's my parents. They can go and answer it, not me. I'm busy recording. Oh, I just heard someone open it. That's fine. Okay. Oh, skirt. Right, can I get it this time? I'm not sliding out. Triple. Up and over. Boing. Front flip. Ride it out. Ride it out. Ride it out. Ride it out. Thank you. You'll notice there that I just let go of my controller halfway through. I just stopped pressing things. And I think the reason being really... Oh, please survive. Is that this game's so weird when it comes to crashing. I find a lot of time, if you're tucking the front end or you're getting kind of weird and sideways or doing front flips or whatever, just let go of the controller. The game's got so many bloody assists that it literally will correct the bike for you. And I think the more that you try fighting it, the sketchier it gets and the longer that the crash will take, which is something that I'm trying to teach myself more and more, especially with them, you know, them horrible front end tucks where you basically just end up riding sideways for 5-10 seconds. I always try and fight those and carry on accelerating and steering into it, and all the time you're doing that, you're just fighting the game, fighting the assists that try and help you. But that is that's not the line. Can I still get over the finish line? Stretch it. Oh no, not at all. You're better off just letting go of the controller and let it do its own thing, and it seems to be working for me. Triple into there. I didn't mind that rhythm, that little double there, although completely wadding myself in the corner. You know what? I think I might just end the video here. I've not given this one particular track much love, but it's not one that I enjoy. I'm just going to have to throw that out there. It's not, well, definitely not one of my favourites. Probably my least favourite out of the 6 that I've done so far. Round 5, probably my favourite, which definitely shocks me. And let me know if you've played all the tracks on here, which one is your favourite. Very, very interested to see what different styles suit different people and what people prefer and what they don't. But I think that'll do it for me today. I'm going to have to try and push these out a little bit more frequently. I might even turn it into double uploads on some days. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. But expect so we've got round 7 and 9 left on here. Round 8 is missing in action. I've not yet checked to see all the rounds that are in the most recent release that he's done. But I know that there was a hell of a lot, same as this one. But we'll work our way through them slowly. We'll see how it goes. I'm thinking maybe 3 or maybe even 4 per episode. But yeah, just massive thank you, Eric, for releasing these for us as well. It's really, really nice to get to play all these tracks in some regards a little bit early. And hopefully you can find what style and scaling suits your particular tracks the best, and we'll get more from it. But that'll do it from me. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you could just drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new, I'd really, really appreciate it. Have a lovely rest of the day, wherever it is that you're up to, and until I catch you in the next video, peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain, even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want. I got